keep on trying these weird press-ups.
Anti-spoofing controls may be implemented.
So it's easy doing knuckles.
Switch level. Ingress filtering watches all
Not really.
signs of spoofing and blocks that traffic from reaching the network. For example, an ingress filter might monitor external inbound traffic for source addresses that match those assigned to internal systems and networks. Internal source addresses should be on traffic coming from systems outside of the internal.
I'm almost doing one rep.
So their presence is
I feel like that's probably my best bet.
Egress filtering, on the other hand,
I have to get an essentially no feet push-ups done.
addresses that don't belong to the organization. If someone is sending a packet out from your network,
That's why I'm getting closer. So once I can do 2-3 reps, then I can progress very fast.
this may be a malicious user on your network, but more likely, it's a sign that a system on your network is compromised and is being used in the denial of service attack.
Alright, let's give it a sec.
Password
Let's just,
secure access
I know I can
to
do the
the
weight,
majority of systems today.
so I can do dips.
This time-tested approach
Which is
does
your full
provide
body weight.
security for many purposes.
Just do it,
It also has potential
but
drawbacks.
try to do it with as much control as possible.
Designed to crack passwords.
So let's go slow, not fast, and hopefully I have to keep my
Many
balance.
recent attacks used this approach to steal massive
It's not
user accounts. Let's
comfortable
take a
on
look at
my
some
hips.
On Linux systems, password files contain
try again.
credentials. When a user attempts to log into a system, the login process checks the password file to determine whether the password is valid. Now, the file doesn't simply contain a copy of the password.
I might have gone
Easy
too far out.
and
Let's
would
bring it
also
back
allow
in.
system administrators to know all of the user
Face this, if I
passwords
go
on
up
the
there,
system. Instead, the password file contains a
range of
password
motion is
hash
limited.
shown here, computed
Ah,
using
it
a
hurts.
long-way hash function.
Let's try
When the
hands
user
forwards.
logs in, the login process takes the password, computes a hash, and then compares that hash with the one stored in the file. If they match, the user is logged in. This approach is still vulnerable to password cracking attempts because a user who obtains a copy of the password file, which must be publicly accessible on the system for a number of technical reasons, can simply start guessing passwords and comparing the hashes offline in a brute force attack. The first step in securing this approach is to remove password hashes from the publicly accessible Etsy password file. You can see that that's been done in this copy of the password file. But in this approach, how does the system log users in? The hashes still exist, but they are stored in a separate file known as the shadow password file. Unlike the password file, the shadow file can be locked down and highly restricted, so only the super user
Okay.
may access.
Try again, hands facing
I
forwards.
mentioned hashing a little earlier, but let's take a deeper look. A hash function is a mathematical function that takes a variable length input and translates it into a fixed length output in a manner that is collision resistant. The hash function has to be constructed so that it meets several criteria. First,
It's uncomfortable.
any change in the input, no matter how minor, produces a completely different output. Second, it has to be computationally infeasible to retrieve the message that was fed into a hash function from the output. Another way of saying this is that the hash function is irreversible. And finally, it has
Maybe
to
I'll
be
do it with handles.
computationally difficult
Do it with handles, I think I can do it quite fine.
that produce the same hash output. When this occurs, it's a situation
It's not actually that easy with handles. Do
It
it.
sometimes breaks down, however, and collisions occur. This is because of a mathematical phenomenon known as the birthday problem. The birthday problem states that collisions may become very common. when the
I'm better at
system
tuck presses on chairs with both my hands on the
It
ground.
gets its name from
Look
something
at
that
this.
moves around the edges. How many people do you think you would need to get in a room to find two that share the same birth month and day? Obviously,
I'm done.
you have